He wasn't cruel. He wasn't wicked. He was kind, watch this, but careless. Well-meaning, but disengaged. Present, but not paying attention. Rip didn't set out to miss history. He just drifted away from responsibility. We're told that Rip went up into the mountains, took a drink he didn't understand, laid down for what he thought was a moment, and slept for 20 years. But Dr. King said that's not the tragedy. The tragedy is what happened while he was asleep. When Rip walked up that mountain, the sign outside the tavern had a picture of King George III of England. 20 years later, when he came down, the sign had George Washington, the first president of the United States. He went up the mountain, a subject of the British crown, and went to sleep, woke up, came down, a citizen of a new nation. A revolution had happened. Power had shifted. History had turned. And Rip didn't even know it. Not because he was dead, but because he was asleep. Brothers and sisters, the problem wasn't that he slept. The problem was that he slept through a revolution. And Dr. King said that's the danger of life. Not dying, but living and not paying attention. Breathing and not responding. Somebody ought to help me. Worshiping and not watching. Existing but not engaging. Rip was alive, but history was crying out for participation while he slept. That's why Dr. King lifted Rip Van Winkle in 1968. He wasn't just talking about a man in the mountains. He was talking about a nation in the night. He was saying you can be alive in a historic moment and still miss your moral assignment. You can benefit from change. Watch this. You were never willing to fight for. If Rip was alive today, he wouldn't be sleeping in the mountains. He would be comfortable, numbed by convenience, distracted by ease, pacified by routines that require nothing of him. Waking up one day saying, how did things get this way? Rip Van Winkle didn't lose his life, brothers and sisters, but he lost his moment. That's why Scripture speaks so urgently to us. Paul writes to the church at Rome in chapter 13. He says, now it is high time to awake out of sleep. The night is far spent. The day is at hand. In other words, God may be making all things new, but newness is not automatic for people who are not paying attention. Simply saying to us that history can be shifted. Truth can be rising. Change can be unfolded, and still a people can remain asleep. So I came to ask us this MLK Day, will we be like Rip snoring while history shifts? Or will we be the generation that stays awake through the revolution? Come on, help me if you will. Turn to somebody, say it to them, or say it to yourself. Say, neighbor, don't sleep through the shift. That's more than a phrase. I want to suggest to you that that's a posture. That's a decision. Because if God is making all things new and Scripture commands us to wake up, then the question becomes, what does staying awake actually look like? So I want to suggest that awakening is not just about being alert, it's about being attentive. It's not just about knowing something is happening. It's about recognizing what God is doing, watch this, and where God is calling us to respond.